THC. Good afternoon, everybody. 12:01 over here on the East Coast. I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in for chilling out and hanging out with us all afternoon. Been here all morning, waking and baking. Dr. High, how are you, buddy?
I've been listening.
You've been chilling, jamming. How was the music today? All right, or was I off?
No, music was good. It's always good.
Yeah.
Was it good? I wouldn't be listening all the time.
I try very hard.
It's like you selected your playlist from all the music that I've loved all my life. You know what I mean? So,
but it's the same. It's me too. You know, it's like everything that I ever loved, I play. And then, you know, if somebody asks for something, then I'm gonna plus all of our friends and stuff like that.
That's it.
You know, and I play a lot of our friends. I got all of our friends, I think, in this morning. No, I got a couple more I got to do this afternoon, but most of our friends have already been played today, you know, at one point or another.
I heard Doug this morning. I heard Calligraphy. I heard our man Muck Sticky. I heard a lot of it this morning.
Yep. Pocono Posse was on. Who else? Brandon Brookings was on. A lot of them.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Garrett. Good morning, Doug.
Garrett, Marie, how are you? So nice to have no more of those. Not that I want them Facebook users over here, but they got to figure it out. Good
afternoon, Kelly. Yeah, you're right. Good afternoon. I'm still good morning to everybody.
Yeah, it's all right. I've been morning. Good afternoon. Good morning. Because some of us are still on the morning side of the world.
This is true.
So
I like a win-win situation, right? No matter if I screw up or not, I could still be right. How perfect is that? Who's in the pick?
All right, sorry. Who's in
the pick?
Yeah, those are his daughters.
They're wearing the latest in DoktorHigh merchandise.
Yes. They are models for DoktorHigh.
That's right. That's the stoner chick and the bub babe.
Yeah, the stoner chick and the bud babe. Yep. Anyway, what's new, man? Holy crap! What a great show yesterday. Muck Sticky. I haven't even gotten a chance to speak with him since. He's been busy. I missed him. Then he came on late last night. And I was already asleep. You know, we have different.
Hopefully, he's still going to talk to you after yesterday.
Yeah. What did I do?
I don't think we did anything, but you know, I'm just saying.
All right. You scared me. I'm like, I don't remember.
Those aren't my daughters, Doug. They're just a couple of ladies gracious enough to wear the clothes I'm trying to create so we can get some photographs.
Very nice of them. Very nice. Just the neighborhood little girls in the neighborhood. He gets dressed up.
Yeah.
No, that's disgusting.
I don't use candy. I use marijuana.
They are AI, right? They're AI or something digital.
No, they're not actually AI.
Oh, no? They're actually girls from the neighborhood?
No.
Oh.
I can't give away all my secrets, but they are definitely models wearing DoktorHigh clothing.
I am a model. If you need me to wear DoktorHigh clothing, just let me know.
But none of that stuff's branded. It's just, you know, it's just for fun. Like, I really want to try and build the largest resource of cannabis imagery on the planet to go along with the educational side, right? Because it all goes together very well. So that's what I'm after. Marijuana candy. Yeah, that would probably work too, Garrett. Sierra, new car will be delivered on Friday. Who's Sierra, your daughter, Ari?
That's her daughter, yeah. Her daughter's getting a new car on Friday. Nice. I know a friend of mine that sings a song about Friday or plays the beats for a song called Friday.
Okay.
Friday. We can play it later, maybe.
Thank you, Kelly.
Everybody, thank you so much for sharing it out. Thank you so much for being here yesterday and hanging with us at Muck Sticky. That was a great show. I really had a good time. I learned a lot about Mr. Sticky. I need to keep my mouth shut a little more often in the back room and not get yelled at as much.
I was going to bring something up yesterday, but I didn't. But there's something very, very interesting about Muck Sticky. He belongs to a very, very exclusive club. One that a very small percentage of people in the world are part of.
It's called THC radio.
Well, he's actually a member of Mensa.
I know, he's a genius.
Yeah, he really is. He's a certified genius with an
I know.
IQ of like 149.
I was supposed to test for that. I'll tell you honestly, I was supposed to, but then I got high.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that. But my God, when he told me he was in college at 12,
Yeah,
I was like, something's fishy going on here.
yeah,
This guy's a genius.
yeah. I found that out. Not yesterday, but the night before when I was doing some research. I had found out that he'd gone to college at 12.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, really.
It's like
But you know
young
what?
Sheldon shit.
It says a lot about homeschooling
Oh,
because
yeah, and parenting,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Mom was there making sure that shit was done. Great
yeah,
job, Mom.
yeah,
Mrs. Sticky.
yeah.
Shout out to
Mama
Mrs.
Sticky.
Mama Sticky.
Mrs. Sticky might be a different Mrs. Sticky.
Yeah,
There's
that's
got to
Lori.
be a Mama Sticky.
That's Lori. She's Mrs. Sticky. She's the crazy sticky Lori. Lori researched him herself too.
Lori says, I will soon be wearing shirts. You don't wear shirts currently, Lori?
No. Normally we get in trouble for that a lot.
For wearing shirts?
No, for her not
Hey,
wearing.
Misty, how are you today?
Misty, good morning. Yes, we've had our experiences with Lori. Lori, behave yourself over there.
Oh, that's funny.
Good morning.
No, but yesterday.
No.
Oh, you like to show them.
She likes. She's got big ones, so I don't blame her.
There you go.
They're some of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I've seen some boobies.
Yeah, so have I. I worked in strip clubs for a long time.
Misty likes to show hers as well. We're getting topic. We're getting off topic, but if you guys want to come on up here, I can open up some boxes. We can.
Well, I mean, we're off topic, but it's not such a bad way to stray.
It's not a bad topic. I'm not saying that.
You know, if we only had Muck Sticky here today.
Yeah, then you guys would be throwing your bras at his ass. I told you, I'm bringing Mrs. Hippie's bras. I'm going to shoot them up on the stage, all her old ones that are too big for her now.
Did you, Lori? Yeah, I worked in them for a long time. As a matter of fact, 48 H. Oh, my goodness.
Shit, you owe me a beer. 48 H at the same time.
You'd be able to sit it right up on top of there.
Damn.
Yep. That's actually where I met my wife, was in a strip club.
Sorry, I'm picturing it.
Yep. It's funny. Look at that. Lori worked in one. Patricia worked there. Misty did.
Not me.
No. When I met my wife, she was working as a waitress in the club that was run by her stepdad. Her mom was a dancer. My wife danced for a period of time. Yeah. So for me, it was probably 12 years of my life in that world.
Yeah. I try to stay away from that world.
Well, I don't get involved with it anymore.
No, I would lose all my money, and I would be a broke puppet.
I mean, it was a fun way to spend my 20s. I started at 18, and I probably was out of there by the time I was about 30. But
I'm not saying I
didn't
say I didn't go to them. Wasn't saying that I. But if I continue to go, then I would continue to be broke. Especially in my youth when I was partaking in Canada.
Oh yeah, you going up to Montreal? You're in the world.
I have spent my days in titty bars. I'm telling you.
You probably even been into the club.
I probably hung out with you and don't remember because I was drunk.
You know, anything is possible.
Because they were just big parties, man. That place, Tabs, I don't know if you ever heard of it, but look it up when you get over into that area. If it's still there, I'm going to meet you there. Tabs Pub, yeah, man. That place was awesome. It turned into a party at like 11 o'clock at night. They like pushed all the tables in together. It was a restaurant. It was a steak place, steak food.
Okay.
Like a beef place, I guess you would call it. Yep. Like a meat kind of restaurant. Hi, Samantha.
How are you, Samantha?
And so, we would go there every time, and it was like every weekend. And
All
we would
natural too.
we
Oh,
would get
sorry. I'm just going back to the comments.
all natural. Yeah, I saw that. I've overcome that already.
Oh,
Ah, whoa, now you made me think about all natural again. Damn it.
yeah.
Where
Well,
was
we
I?
talk about
Beef.
cannabis on the regular, so all natural is really a part of our diet, right?
Right.
It's what we believe
Natural.
in.
I was talking about beef, though. Natural
Oh,
beef at the
okay.
steak restaurant, I guess it's called. And we were there, and like we were there late one night, getting ready to go up to the clubs, and a lot of the clubs in Montreal seem to be upstairs. I remember. I don't know
Yeah.
why all the titty
Yeah. A
bars
lot of them right
are
aren't on street level. They're upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go upstairs to a lot of them. I
Yeah.
remember that. So anyway, we were getting ready to go upstairs, but we were at this one right next. We were going to go to the one right next door to Tab's Pub, I guess, or in the near vicinity. I don't remember how far we walked.
There was one
But
every block almost.
yeah, well, it was everywhere. Yeah, they were everywhere. Oh, it was the greatest street in the world. I loved it. I
St.
loved it.
Catherine.
Especially at 18. When you're
Oh, yeah.
18 and the drinking age is 21 in the United States, and you're
Yeah.
just hopping over the border and saying, "Okay, here I
Oh, yeah.
am."
We used to get tons of guys from Boston and all
Oh,
over the place coming up there to get shit faced.
Plattsburgh and
Yeah.
oh my
But
goodness.
Boston quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's right there. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Mhm.
And it was great. And then no passport needed back then. You just
No,
went.
you cross on a driver's license back in those days.
They didn't even ask everybody. They just asked the person that was driving at that
Yeah.
time.
A lot of
They were
times.
like, "Let us see your license. You got anything to declare? Get the hell over there. Go have a good time. Don't get drunk." But so we come back. No, where was I? Oh, so we go there.
I just went back to Lori about being perky. Quit distracting us, ladies. You can't get it.
It's you. If I don't read the
here.
chat, I'm not reading the chat. I'm over here
Jesus.
concentrating.
I can't avoid it. It's right in front of me.
All right. Well, anyway, so we're in there and we're hanging out, and we just finished our big steak. Oh, yeah. Burping. We got
Yeah.
beers the whole time. Beers and steak, potato, just a great restaurant, great atmosphere. Everybody's smiling, having a great time. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, all the tables just got pushed together. And everybody's sitting around the bell went off, and everybody just got up, and we were like, what the fuck's going on? Because this was like one of our first times here, and they rang a bell. 11 o'clock. Everybody pushed the tables together. We ended up staying there for like 2 more hours in the titty bar time, cutting into titty bar time, hanging out with a bunch of freaking cool-ass Canadian people from all over, hanging out in this place, playing quarters on the table, a fucking table the size. It was like a conference room table, bigger than that, big square. Everybody's playing quarters around the table. We got 7 glasses going around the table at once. People are rolling quarters off their noses and bouncing them into the cup. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is great. And then we left. And of course, then we went upstairs and hung out with beautiful women for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's the problem over there, folks. Yeah, Lori says that's when we were younger. It's gravity. It's got nothing to do with age. It's gravity. And just after a certain number of years dealing with gravity, it eventually pulls us all down, gets us all in the end.
It's got a hold of my belly.
I know.
It hasn't got a hold of anything else.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
Where it is.
And the more it pulls the belly down, the other appendages tend to shrink up.
Yeah, he's like hidden in a cave now.
So a cave dweller. It's like a turtle.
Right.
Retreat into the shell.
He's like naked and afraid in there.
That's it.
Hiding in the cave. He's like, don't come in
here.
You
guys must be all getting excited, eh? You got a big weekend coming up. That's going to be a blast.
I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to try to avoid Curly Cal and Crazy Lori so that I can enjoy myself.
Well, it sounded to me like Curly Cal was talking about having a backpack full of bras to throw an old Muck Sticky over the weekend.
Oh, you haven't even heard. She went even further now. She's in the bathroom taking a shower. She said, don't talk about her.
Well, we'll have to wait till she comes back. And then
we're going to talk about her anyway. We're going to talk about her anyway. She has a whole bag full of thongs that she plans on shooting up onto the stage to him. He's like, I got old ones, new ones that I don't wear.
You should get her a really good stick that she could use to turn that into like a slingshot, and she could use it to fire joints up on the stage.
That's what I keep trying to tell her. I keep trying to tell her, shoot them like a slingshot.
That's right.
And then they said, and Muck said he only wants them if they come off their body. So we've come up with a plan.
Well, I seen that Muck Sticky video where he's got like 20 pairs of pants on, and as he's walking down the sidewalk.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Well, that's what we're going to do. The girls are going to have 15 bras on each.
That's it. There's always a way to do it.
Keep reaching in and taking one off and throwing it up at him. And
that's
then
right.
He'll be like, oh, nice, cool. That one came off. I saw it. And then move around in the crowd again and then throw another one up there.
That's from a different angle, right?
A different angle, so he thinks it's somebody else.
Yeah. I think you guys are going to have a blast. I would really love to be a part of that adventure this weekend. That would be a lot of fun.
Right. I'm scared, though. I'm scared. I'm
Why?
old. Because I'm old.
What's that got to do with it?
I got a cane. I'm old. I'm going to be sitting in my chair. I'll be like, all right, you whippersnappers, get your music and get over there.
Well, at least you got the cane, right? So you can beat them down when they get into
yeah, it is a nice beater.
Crazy.
It is. I'm bringing that only for Lori.
You got to make sure it's got a big hook, right? So you can get them around the neck and hold them back like they used to in the old cartoons when they were pulling them off stage.
It actually has been damaged since the last time. And so now I used to have a hammerhead on it. So I used to be able to actually beat people with it. It was cool. But
I wanted to get one that had a sword inside.
I had one, but it was ghetto. It turned out to be ghetto. Yeah, they're fake ass. I mean, I guess you can find a real one somewhere, but I thought I found a real one. And
I'm sure you can. I have a nice collection of swords that I've collected over the years. Yeah.
All right. Well, guess what? We're already into commercial breaks.
None as a cane. Already, look at that. It's 4:20 coming up someplace.
Yeah. I don't even have
the ladies over there have had us all distracted this morning. Shame, ladies. You know that we're guys. You can't distract us, and you know that's the easiest way to get us distracted.
Right.
You know?
I'm all sorts of distracted already.
Oh, all intellect goes out the window as soon as boobs come up.
Right.
We're
gonna do that one. All right, happy 420. We'll be back after the song and some commercial breaks.
After these commercial messages. What is this?
This one is what? Chrissy, hi.
Said what you need. I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. Said what you need. I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. I'm rolling deep, got Nikes on my feet. All these hundreds in my pockets make my body go deep. What you need, hit me up, I can make your life complete. Just dial my number, leave a fucking message at the beep. This is heat, and you
welcome. It's so good to see you.
We going to uncharted territories that they ain't showing, but I'ma do it different. Me and my team on a mission, throwing shots back, come visit the clinic. Doctor, please fill my prescription. Give them what they want, even if they didn't ask for it. Feeling like a Don, smoking Cuban with no passport. Luxuries, exotic, I got it. Fuck with me, bitch. Please don't want no problem, cause you know I'm psychotic. So what you need? I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. So what you need? I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. So what you need? I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. Said what you need? I got that Gucci green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. This life I'm living is something I could never envision. Just push your limits, you'll get it, I promise you'll get it. I started from the bottom, smoking roach after roach. It ain't no problem, higher than lava. I'm the king of the jungle, my name Mufasa, lion roaring like a monster. This the appetizer, you my main course, and that's not surprising. can you tell me that this ain't fuego? They know, that's why they be screaming out my name. Oh, hey, yo, this that shit. Grab a 40 and a split. Light it up, let's get trippy up in this bitch. No, I'm not one for quitting, I'm too legit. That's why I said he be making hits. Coincidence? Not likely, but what's the difference? Nothing, bitch. So, I'ma ask you one more time what you need. Ready for anything, don't fuck with my company. R.I.P. to this beat. Gucci Green, the best thing you ever seen. Waking up at the crack of dawn for a G. You a V. Said what you need. I got that Gucci Green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho. Said what you need. I got that Gucci Green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho.
This is our friends, the enlightened ones, with Gucci Green.
Said what you need. I got that Gucci Green. You say you need a bag, just know it ain't cheap, ho.
Wow.
Did we get the offer we've been looking for?
No, I'm just looking at this new magazine that just released. It's called Cannabis Jew Magazine.
Yes, it is Donovan's group. I was wondering if you were gonna catch on. What'd you say, Dr. High? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that.
Concentrates herbs with a
You were talking to me, and I was just looking at this new magazine that came out. It's called Cannabis Jew Magazine.
dedicated team is here
Oh,
to
it
guide
must be
you on your
real.
journey. Open 7 days a week.
About
10
me?
to 10, ensuring you have
I
access
don't know. I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
most tailored herbs and concentrates is located at 2941 Highway 11, Burnt Church, New Brunswick, Canada. If you need assistance anytime,
I need assistance. I need weed.
just call 506-871-4299. Tailored herbs and concentrates.
Where all the potheads go.
Okay, men,
Oh,
this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Da.Nica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Are you in the Owensville or Middletown, New York area? Revamp your space with Collins Paint Ltd. Ugly walls? Let Collins Paint Ltd. add a splash of color to your world. Collins Painting is a veteran-owned and operated business. They can transform your space to whatever your heart desires. Say goodbye to the boring beige and hello to possibilities of bright and vibrant colors. The Collins Painting team are a group of skilled professional painters who will turn your vision into reality. Call Collins Painting Ltd. today to get a fast and easy quote. Available Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them at 845-869-8176.
Come hang out on WTHC Radio with the hippie. He makes my nipples tingle.
See, now I'm distracted again.
THC. We're right back to boobs. Why? Why are we on boobs today?
I don't know. Kelly's back, so now we can start talking about her.
Somebody's nipples are tingling. I don't know who. Anyway, Dr. High, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt. Ah,
Chicken butt?
I'm sorry. I do that to my sister all the
Dirty and full of feathers?
Anyway, listen, I want to give a big shout. That wasn't her. We didn't say it was. We were talking about you while you were in the shower.
Yep.
And your thong idea about shooting thongs up onto the stage at Muck Sticky. Just don't hit him in the eye. That's what I suggest. Nobody hit him in the eye while he's trying to perform.
And not at the end of the joint either while he's taking a good hit. No, he don't get high while he's doing the show, though.
No, he said he probably ain't going to get high for the... I don't believe that, but...
Well, I get it, though, right? Because it dries you out.
Oh, yeah. No, I before the show, but I think...
I imagine it takes a lot of...
Yeah, I think after the show, he'll be getting high, though, and then sober again for Sunday, and then getting
It's been a while since he's performed live, so it's gonna be probably a workout for his vocal cords.
Oh, yeah. But no, he's in the... When we're in the back hanging out on Discord with him, he's back there singing all the time, hanging out. He's dancing, he's jumping, he's bouncing, he's exercising. Nice. He's like Aerosmith there. What's his name? Steven Tyler. Back there practicing with the microphone. We get to watch it all back there on the Discord.
Oh, nice.
It's like having backstage passes.
Takes a lot of energy.
Right. Yeah. No, I can't even imagine. Think about it. Like to go out there and he's going to try to play, I don't know, 25 songs, I think he said, in less than 90 minutes, nonstop. And you got to know every word to every song.
Yeah.
And
that's one thing I wanted to ask him. What does he got? Does he got them all taped down to some place where he can look down?
He knows them. He knows them. It's crazy. Good morning, Tina.
Well, you write the music, you perform it. So I guess it does kind of
crazy. Like every song that comes on, like I'll play a song and we're hanging out in the back, and one of his songs will come on because it's time for a Muck Sticky song during the show, and he'll be back there and he'll just be and rapping right along with it. Like he knows every freaking word. He said, like he told us, he was in the back room hanging out with us the other night. And we were talking about, people jumping up on stage, and he was very adamant about making sure that nobody ever does that, and he's like, you guys don't understand. We're in this, when you're in a zone as a singer or any type of, when you're in that zone, you don't even know what's going on around you. I'm just jumping and dancing and singing, and the words are just coming out. If somebody comes running at me, you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I might turn and punch you. I don't know, because it's just a reaction because you're not even thinking. You're just
because you're kind of startled, right?
Rapping up, doing whatever he's doing. His whatever musician. It doesn't matter if it's some dude sitting on a chair playing a guitar. He's in a zone, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, it's an interesting job, you know what I mean? But it takes a lot to give, and they give so much when they're on stage that
right. And then that 90 minutes, he's going to be exhausted from doing that, and then he's going
to be on the adrenaline high for the next 3 or 4 hours, and then the crash comes.
I guess. I hope. So, yeah. I mean, I just as an older gentleman myself, and I'm not saying he's old, he's much younger than me, but we are getting older, and for somebody who hasn't performed, I hope everything's good. His health he's a healthy guy. He does yoga, he swims every day, he's very healthy. So
he smokes weed on the regular.
He takes his vitamins. He's he's a kind of a health freak in a way, not really. But he just takes care of himself. He's very, very good at taking care of his health.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fun. You guys are going to have a blast.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm excited to meet
Yeah,
some of the
especially
friends that we've made in the back on the Discord, like Sticky Stank Bud and Sweet Bud and
yeah.
Boomer and a bunch of other friends of ours that we've made
And if you
since
manage
back
to
then.
get backstage, it'll be a blast.
And then I don't even,
'Cause
I mean,
that's
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, I don't, but then we don't even need to get backstage. I think like everybody's going to be camping there, you know? So it's going to be like, Doc, you got 8 new followers.
how'd that happen?
I followed you again. One of my other websites, I think, found you and followed you yesterday. So,
Oh, I'm moving up in the world, eh, Robert? How are you? We didn't see you yesterday for the Muck Sticky show.
so now I have 2 of me following you,
Twins.
but I have multiple personalities. So
That's okay. It'll work.
it depends on which
It'll
one's there.
work.
So my plant, I didn't bring it in here because it's not Monday, but
No.
my plant is, oh, she is thriving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it needed that transplant, and it needed those nutrients in the soil, right?
Now,
So
listen,
all your browning is
got it.
gone. Your leaves look happy, I'm sure, right now.
Yeah, there's one tiny leaf that had like the very tip of the tip was yellow, but I think that even cleaned up. It's already turned back to green or it
Yeah,
disappeared.
I was going to say, was it lower on the plant inside that?
Yeah,
fresh
it was
growth?
lower. It was, it was just one that I didn't notice when we were pulling off the bigger
Yeah.
leaves the other day.
It had already
But-
probably started when before
I
the
got a question.
transplant. But
Now, the crazy lady that I live with,
yeah,
that should be renamed nameless. She took it upon herself. Well, she didn't do anything, so it's okay. But she asked me when I wasn't paying attention. Luckily, I caught on to what she was saying. She said, I got a pot full of cold boiled egg water. I made hard boiled eggs. Do you want me to dump that water into your plant? And I said, no. Good choice or bad choice?
I mean, the calcium there that comes off could probably be good. And I've seen guys make their own teas, like with banana peels and kitchen waste and stuff like that. Like vegetable matters and that, because eventually that's what makes the good compost, right? That's why people have composts at home where they can dispose of their eggs and peels and
Oh yeah, she's got a huge
old
compost.
vegetables.
I would have used that if you told me, you dumbass. I got a huge compost pile in the yard.
Yeah, so that's quality stuff there, right? Because when those plants break down, or when those fruits and vegetables break down, and your eggshells
Oh,
are
yeah,
in,
I mean, the only bad thing about it is that the bears come and break into it all the time, and we
yeah,
haven't
because they're
listened to
trying
their
to get the
compost.
scraps that haven't yet reverted,
Deteriorated. Yeah,
Plus,
so that's my only
worms.
downfall. Huh?
Yeah, it attracts worms and insects that leave their excrement inside of there, and that's beneficial for your plants. I mean, it's nothing but good with compost,
Oh shit! I wouldn't have bought soil then. I would have just used her compost. She's like, just use this. I'm like, no, Dr. High said buy good soil. I'm buying good soil.
Yeah, but you can mix the compost in with the soil, right?
Well, I'm not gonna fuck with it now, but I got my next batch. Now, how long until I should start germinating my next batch, sir?
Are you going to cut your own clone, or are you going to start a seed?
Well, I have 3 seeds still.
Okay, whenever
But
you
I mean,
want.
I will cut a clone as well. I mean,
do you got enough room in that cupboard for more than one plant?
No.
So,
no.
What I would say to do is
2.
wait. Right. Well, if you can do 2 plants, you'd want to get another one started right away, so you could get them in there together to flower.
I mean,
But,
I don't know. How far along am I? Am I like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? Where am I in my plant level here? Do you know?
You're about, I would say, about 3 weeks at this point, but really you're week 1 because you just transplanted from, from your basic propagation.
Now 75 weeks from now.
No, you're going to go another couple of weeks. You got to get that closet ready, because in 3 weeks' time, you want to switch your lights to 12 and 12.
My goal is to come back from this trip We got to talk about that too, because I don't know if I'll be here for Monday, because I think we're coming back on Monday. So we might not have a show Monday morning, or if you want to come on later, if you want to come on later and do it later in the day, that's up to you. I'm happy to do it later. I will be on the air at some point Monday, and I will hopefully have some video.
Am I going to have no WTHC music this weekend?
Well, the radio will still play, but it won't be me. You know, the radio's on 24 hours a day. If and all of our friends' music is in there, so you'll hear. But you got to get me when you talk to the Tea Party. Get them to send me 1 or 2 songs that you like, and give me permission to play them, so that I can put them on the 24 hours, and then I'll play them. I'm happy to play them. I want to play them, but I can't play. I don't have them uploaded. Or you can have if you have their music uploaded, you can send it to me, and then I can put it up.
No, I got their stuff all on CD. I don't have anything digital like that.
Yeah,
no, I'm not really a huge fan of digital music, but
yeah, well, this is digital broadcasting, buddy. You better become a fan of it.
No, but I just mean the sound quality, right? So that's why I don't really download like MP3 files and stuff like that.
Right. I would,
because I just don't find that it's.
I want a record player.
The Chris and Dr. High show on Monday. Yeah? So Chris, you got some buds starting to form. Yeah, you switched your lights about 10 days ago, I think, if I remember correctly. So timing would be just about right. 10 days to 2 weeks. You're starting to see the hairs. Yeah, that's the thing, right? For you either want to start something right away and try and get it to catch up, but really you need to do it.
The thing is I don't have any auto flowers yet, and I know that this is going to be another 75 week. Excuse me. 75
like
thing, so
like you can really, like if you really wanted to, you could flower it now, but you'd end up with a really small plant and a really low yield, right? Like I had a buddy that used to run on 4 by 8 foot sheets of plywood. He'd get 55 plants on that piece of plywood. So he cut 55 4-inch holes where he dropped the pots in, and then he used clay balls underneath and a little bit of rock wool to hold the plant secure. And then he'd only grow them to about 8 inches, and he'd switch them to flower right then. So each plant was really just giving him a single bud. But he ran, I think 8 tables.
Yeah, but if it's a constant rotation and you're getting 10 or 8 or 10 big buds or 20 big buds a day on a regular, if you keep rotating it, it's a perfect rotation. I mean, you're pulling out prime bud right there, one a day, once you get the rotation going.
15 to 75 pounds every like 8 to 9 weeks. That's what he was able to do in this small room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, I bet those buds are better because it's just that everything went right to that one bud, like,
yeah, because it was designed that way. Right, because he had a small space and he wanted a really predictable turnaround time.
Maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I want to do that, Dr. High, where I have like 15 different strains, and I grow them to 8 inches or 4 strains here in Pennsylvania, 4 strains.
If you could find a space that was 4 foot by 8 foot,
middle of my living room, I got a perfect space.
But you can't control the climate. That's the problem.
Oh, but how much? But if you're only growing it to 8 inches tall, how much? I got to kick one of the kids out, right?
What you need to do is get one of the kids to move out,
right,
and then convert the bedroom over.
Right. That's what
that would be the best way. It would save you money. So the money you save on supporting your child, you can put into your cultivation project.
That's what I plan to do. But I haven't supported my children in years. They're a bunch of bums. I'm just kidding. My son could be watching. He came and joined the other day, so now he's here.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I know my son called me this morning, and he's like, Dad, what's a cosigner?
Oh, goodness.
And I said, what's a cosigner? What do you want to know about a cosigner for? He says, well, I'm thinking about, I'd like to maybe buy a condo. And I'm like, buy a condo? What are you talking about? And he's like, well, I'm thinking I'd rather do that than pay rent. I'm like, okay, I got the 5% down, but I don't have a cosigner. I was like, wow, funny boy,
He's the younger one, right? He's like 20.
Yeah, he's the younger one. Yeah,
He's like 24.
He's 22.
22. Yeah,
My daughter's 26.
Yeah, he's my daughter's age. So your youngest is my oldest's age.
Yeah, he was born in 2001.
Oh, yeah. So my daughter was born in 2000. So actually, my daughter's older.
Lori sent me a picture. Oh, that plant.
Sad. Sad.
Well,
Sad Sally. That's what we call her now.
It's got some nutritional issues. I'm absolutely sure of that. Because just from the colors, those purples and those small leaves and everything.
Wait a second. They live in West Virginia, right? So they're probably feeding it squirrel and raccoon, possum.
Yeah. No, this is kind of a strange plant, but it's good that it's going to start to bud. I mean, it's the time of year that it does, and cannabis is pretty hardy, so you'll get flowers off of this. But it's just missing some nutrition for some reason. Like the new growth. It's getting discoloration on older growth.
Egg water on it. Pour boiled egg water on it.
Yeah, when you start getting discoloration on older growth, your bigger fan leaves, it's not such a big deal. But when you're seeing your new growth, your fresh growth, discolored or clawed, then there's really something wrong. Are you feeding it every day, Lori, maybe, or anything like that? Could it be an overfeed? I don't know. We did 3 outdoor buds, looked good. All the bottoms turned yellow. Yeah, the bottoms will turn yellow. I mean, once those leaves have kind of served their purpose, right? They have a life cycle. They don't live as long as the plant does. So when your lower growth is turning yellow, as soon as you start to see it really go, you just remove it right away. So the plant doesn't invest any energy in trying to protect that particular leaf, right?
It'll send that juice to there instead of up higher where the bud's going to be.
What the plant needs to complete photosynthesis, which is turning the light into energy, it needs chlorophyll. And when your leaves are turning yellow, the chlorophyll is leaving the leaf, so therefore its effectiveness is no longer there. So, yeah, that's why you just remove those leaves so they don't suck energy, and it's totally normal at this time of year. Absolutely. Your plant should be turning. It should be following the same kind of cycle as the plants around you.
Like the trees in the fall.
Yeah. So the trees, all the plants work on kind of that photo period, right? That's how plants know.
Wait for a second. So Jacob, if you haven't, and they're still growing, make sure unless we're talking about in the past, but you should somebody should go out there and take off all those little yellow ones on the bottom. Yep. Anything that doesn't look proper and happy, get them going. They don't need to be there anyway. And they're just blocking the sun from getting to other areas. You know what I mean? Those big fan leaves, start taking them off if it's cropping season.
Yeah. I mean, just flip through Facebook, look in some of the groups where people are posting current pictures of their plants when they're in the same type of region as you are.
No, DoktorHigh, no. Come here and talk to DoktorHigh. Don't go.
You don't get the visual here, and a lot of people
visuals.
Well, a lot of people learn by with their eyes, right, as opposed to their ears, right. So I can describe, but like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Just that true, right? So
send your pictures to DoktorHigh.com. Send them all, right? So he has a photo of every.
Well, you can always message me pictures of your plants, and I will analyze them the best that I can from an image.
Hi, Bird.
Look at sort of things you're looking for. Veronica's joining us. How are you, Veronica?
Hi, Bird.
Lori, I don't know, like, if you got the space, if you got a little space that you can set aside in the house, a little closet or something, you can get a light really cheap from Amazon, and you can just grow in there all year round. You don't have to be stuck with worrying about the neighbors or the weather conditions or any of that, right?
Putting it, yeah, but she's got grandbabies and stuff, so it's tough because grandbabies like to get into stuff. And
yeah, but you can always put a lock on a cupboard door, right on a closet door.
No, not in West Virginia. That's
no
kidnap. I'm just kidding, all my friends out there in West Virginia. I love you guys.
Yeah, closets work. I mean, any enclosed space where you can control the environment, Jacob is the right place to start, because that's what you want to be able to do. As soon as you take cannabis out of its natural element, which is growing it outdoors, when you bring it inside, you need to recreate a natural element for the plant to thrive. So you need an enclosed space where you can control that, where you can control the temperature, where you can work on trying to control the humidity. But
like when Lori
control the airflow and the access to light. Those are
so like
most important.
When Lori puts it outside, and no offense, nothing. I'm not picking on you, Lori, this time, I promise. But when she puts it outside, some days it's not quite as warm as it should be. Some days it is. Some days it's too hot. So that's why you have to control that temperature in a closet of some sort, so that it's the constant same temperature at all times, right? No.
Well, that's ideal, right? Like cannabis will grow under so many variable conditions. Like it's a super hardy thing. Like the name weed isn't just necessarily a slang or a joke, right? It grows like a weed, and we know that weeds are super hardy. So cannabis is the same way. But if you're going to bring it inside, you might as well strive to create the absolute ideal condition for the plant to thrive. That's the whole point. If you're going to put the effort into it, then you should do it.
Yeah. Well, that's it, Lori. This is your first attempt.
Yeah.
So like I did, last year I did a whole shitload of seeds, and I ended up with only 15 out of 25 or so. So I lost 10, either they were males or they needed to go. But this was seeds that I had been collecting for a very long time. And I said, finally, I'm going to try. But what the hell's wrong with my hand?
I don't know.
You want to fight down there, punk?
It's all right. The hippie can bitch slap you and you won't feel a thing.
Yeah. Ow. Anyway, now I totally forgot what I was saying with my hand. Damn it!
You were talking to Lori about she's going to get a little bit of something to smoke. That plant isn't going to give you a lot, sadly. If you let it go right to the very end, you'll maybe get a few joints out of it for sure, and it'll be your own effort and your own plant. So you can take some pride in that. But
that's what I was saying. Like I ended up getting 15. Wait, hold on. Let me finish my story. So I got 15 out of that. And if I got 4 ounces out of those 15 plants, I would think that would be a lot. It was very, the buds weren't very tight. They were very loose. It was very, very sticky. I loved the fact that it was so sticky. But, out of 15 plants, 4 ounces is not a very good yield. But I was happy because, oh my God, it worked. We actually got somewhere. And now this year I'm going to put this year I didn't really do it in the right time. So right now I'm putting a much better effort into it. And, oh no.
Yeah, that's the worst, man. I stress when I see my dog not feeling well.
Right.
Oh. We'll pray for the puppy, Kelly. We pray for puppies here.
What's the signs? Because,
Don't you wish they could talk to you? Like, I so wish that they could talk to me sometimes. It just, not all the time, because I'm sure a lot of times you can tell me to fuck off and get out of the way. But sometimes
bite
I'd
your
really like
ass.
to know, like when he's not feeling good. I wish he could say, Dad, my stomach hurts, or I wish that
His stomach is bothering him. Maybe he got into something that he shouldn't have eaten. Hi, Kale. Curly Kale.
Kale is curly.
It is. It's very curly. Hey,
and
listen,
nutritiously beneficial.
sir, Dr. High, we are not doing good with our commercials.
Adopt US Kids
We're having
presents
fun.
What to Expect When You're
I know.
Expecting. A teenager
But rules are rules.
learning the lingo.
Yo,
I am going to
not
help
according to Buck
use
Sticky.
teen slang. Now, when a teen says
Right.
something
I didn't
is
do anything
"Wow,"
yesterday. I barely
it's
played
exactly
one
like
commercial,
saying,
I think.
"That's rad."
Dab him if you
Something
got him,
something
Jacob.
Awesome or cool.
Oh, when they don't
Another
eat
one
trees.
is totes.
How
It's
long
exactly
you
like
been
saying
sick, Cal?
totally.
Unfortunately, all I have left
As in,
is flour
I
until
totes love going to
tomorrow
the
when we
mall.
go to the dispensary.
Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter,
All
better
right,
way
you
to say
stuff flour.
as in,
Oh,
Chloe,
I got
I
about
am
a
like so
quarter
jelly
ounce,
of
half
your
ounce of
unicorn
flour.
phone face.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed.
I'll be sleeping
Once,
by the time
this
mom
woman
comes on.
brought together a teenage
But I
girl's
told
broken
Curly
heart,
Cal to make
which
sure
had
she
been
takes good
shattered in
video so I
1,000
can see it
pieces
in the morning.
just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
And then there's another concert on Sunday.
Your
I
hero
should be
needs
able
you
to
now,
stay awake for
and
that one.
AARP is here to
It's
help.
playing at 7:30.
Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening live.
Nice.
WTHC Radio on Live 360.
Shrooms are good.
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride to
Hey,
Da.Hippie today?
Doffin? What's a Doffin?
Bella's Badass Crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today, I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Bella's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook, but you can also find them on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA. They are badass.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
WTHC, good morning. We're back. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I'm lost. I don't know why you're not here.
Huh?
I don't know. I got it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I figured it all out. Oh, I know. I know what.
Well, that's good. Then it's good that if he throws up, then he's getting out whatever's in there that's making him not feel good. I know. I got a big dog, man. When he pukes, it's a pile. Oh, I know.
Yes. The good thing is my dog likes to eat it. So
I think all dogs do. They still find some nutritional value there.
She throws it up and then she eats it right back up. I'm like, good. I didn't want to clean that shit up. Good girl. And then I go over with a rag and I polish the floor. It looks a little cleaner in that spot. I'm like, yes.
It's acid washed.
Mrs. Hippie, I cleaned the floor right there.
Oh, that was just bile. How long have you been sick, Kelly? Is it just today? Usually when I see my dog like that, I don't worry too much until the following day. unless he's really pacing and panting and
Right.
stressed, you know what I mean?
Showing signs of distress.
Yeah, got the whale eyes and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I know how that is, man. Nothing stresses me more when I see that my dog's not feeling good.
Another dab time. Jacob says it's time to do another dab, Curly Cow.
Jacob's heading to the show with you guys this weekend too.
Oh yeah, that's Stinky Stank Bud. He is the Stanky Bud.
Hey, I never asked Kelly what happened with Red Eyes on Saturday. I missed it.
Oh, don't even go there. Oh.
I want to go there. What happened?
Oh,
Who won?
Don't go there, please. Just say I don't go there. It turned into a debacle and Red Eyes, because everybody was getting crazy and it was starting arguments amongst the family. We don't talk about Bruno no more.
You don't talk about the battle anymore?
No. It's just better off we let it go.
Oh, jeez.
People were.
Did anybody make any money?
Nobody. The battle never happened.
It just didn't happen. Period.
Yeah, we canceled it because it was starting issues in the family, and people were trying to. She said, "Just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's in the past. It's gone."
That's funny.
Red Eyes has officially let his face be seen, though, on his picture. So he said, "You know what? I don't want all the fighting. I'm not gonna." But what the hell?
And he turned out to be who? Like Matt Damon or Brad Pitt?
Yeah. I was thinking Matt Damon was more what I was looking at.
Yeah. No, that's what you could do. Let him go for the day. As long as he doesn't seem too distressed, if he's just down and a little lethargic, make sure that he goes to the water bowl and has some water and does a couple things like that. And then tempt him with the highest value treats you can find. And then you'll know. That's one way I can tell a lot of times if my dog's just being weird or if he really doesn't feel good is the treats, hey? That'll let you know.
Peanut butter. Anyway, so we were talking about plants before, and so you said I should have let Mrs. Hippie pour the egg water on there.
Well, no, but I mean, eggshells, you probably could have. Eggshells and the calcium from the shells is good. Like eggs are good compost,
Oh yeah, she's got like we were saying, she puts the eggs in the compost all the time. She puts the banana peels, all the other crap in there. She's constantly filling that thing up. But the bears take a lot of it.
Yeah. How come you're not trapping them? Make yourself some like bearskin rugs and bearskin caps.
Because I live in a community, in a development, so I'm not allowed to touch them.
I thought you didn't have a house for like a mile all the way around.
I don't.
And that's a community, a development?
Yeah.
Sounds like country to me, where your neighbors don't know what the hell you're up to anyway.
Well, that's because I bought the only house that when they built this house in 1974, they said, "Oh shit, this is a swamp." And we said, we're going to sucker one sucker into buying this house, but we're never going to build any other houses in here. And I guess this whole strip of area is pretty much a swamp.
It's weird, right? Where I grew up, we had, I don't even know, a couple 100 acres of woodland behind us. And when we used to go out in the bush, it was full of sidewalks. Like completely overgrown, right? But there were sidewalks all through the bush.
They were going to build a community there, and
we were kids. Like we were like, "What the hell's going on?" We didn't understand. Then as I got older, I met a kid who I became friends with, and his father was the one who owned most of that bush. He had won it playing pool against. They were serious gamblers, right? Gambling lots against money, and he won a lot of this bush playing pool. But he was able to tell us that in the 50s they had intended to develop all that area, and then for some reason it didn't happen. But they had already put in part of the infrastructure, which was the
water, the sewage, or whatever.
Yeah, so
the sidewalks.
It was interesting.
roads.
He loves his mommy. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how.
That's
She
true.
drives me crazy.
It could just be the change of season too, right? Because I see with my dog sometimes as the seasons change during, for a brief period during the change of season, it tends to upset his rhythm for whatever reason. So, I mean, it could be as simple as that, right?
Let's hope. Let's hope it's nothing. Maybe he just
Most
has
of
a
the
belly
time
ache.
it isn't. Most of the time it's not. They're just
Probably
like
got into something in the yard. He probably ate a skunk or something.
Yeah.
Now he's got a
Oh,
belly
I got scared the other day. I got up like 4:00 in the morning. My dog wanted to go outside. I let him outside. Then I went to open the door to bring him back in, and all I could smell was skunk. And he comes to the door, and I stepped out, and I made sure I pet him first, right, to feel if he was wet. I was like, "Okay, you're dry. You can come in."
I've only had that happen twice here so far since.
Oh man, yeah, I had a dog when I was a kid that used to get sprayed a couple times every summer.
19 years we've been living in this house, and yeah, well, twice the skunks got my dogs. Oh my goodness, it's horrible.
I actually knew somebody who had a dog that got sprayed by a skunk, and the dog died. It was almost like it overwhelmed the dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was weird. But I also knew somebody who had a pet skunk.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy too.
To walk it on a leash.
So they can remove the stinker, I think, and then they become like cats.
And it was like a cat. Yeah, he used to have a little harness leash for it. He used to walk it downtown Montreal.
So you might see him again when you get back there.
No, the skunk's probably dead now.
So I want to thank everybody for all your questions over there. You guys are amazing.
Well, we were talking about the plants. So for everybody out there who's new or wants to try and do an outdoor plant in the springtime, we'll go through it here, and I'll get you set up. You get your plants, and we'll get everybody set up so that by the end of the summer, you can pull yourself a 1/4 pound or 1/2 pound of product from that plant. It's really easy to do, especially outside. You just have to lay the right foundation, the right groundwork when you start, and from there you'll have success.
We need right now, everybody needs to start focusing on what they need to get together for next spring, right?
Yeah.
Next early spring. So May, like early May, mid-May.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on where you are in the States, but I know here where I'm at, I wouldn't feel safe going into the ground before the 3rd week in May indoors, but we can start them in March inside.
Oh, okay. So March we need to be ready. So we need to get your seeds, get whatever flavors and strains you're planning on growing.
Get a good 8 weeks indoors, and all you need to do that is to you can get a little grow light from Walmart or from, well, here it's Canadian Tire, but from a hardware store that's meant for an herb garden on your kitchen counter. You know what I mean? You can it's a small neon tube. They're really inexpensive, and you can start with maybe 2 of those, and you can keep your plant inside for the first 6 or 7, 8 weeks, and then go outside, in a 5-gallon pail, and we'll get sure that you get the right nutrients in that dirt before you transplant. And
I was hoping to go into the ground. That's not a possibility.
Well, into the ground is absolutely better, but let's say with Lori, right? She's got the nosy neighbors, so that's not going to work well for her.
I don't have any nosy neighbors.
No, but
I actually have a beautiful spot, except for when they walk up my driveway, I would like to have 6 or 8 trees just growing right there, because that's when the FBI comes,
Right.
But well, they would look beautiful.
Where you're at, you would probably want to put down 8 or 10 fence posts, not real fence posts, but the cheap ones, that you can spray chicken wire around them.
The metal ones, the ones.
That's it, and get that chicken wire around the outside of where you're going to put your plants
for the deer.
Yeah, for the deer, exactly. And then
and coyote piss.
From there, you can actually take that cloth, and you can wrap that chicken wire with that dark green garden cloth or that mesh, so people can't see what's going on inside.
They're going to be much taller than that, but yes.
Well, eventually they will, but in the beginning, no.
No, I want them to be like 6 or 8 feet tall.
Oh, you can achieve that easy outdoors.
Yeah,
You can achieve 20 feet tall if you want.
Yeah, that's what but in my time zone where I'm at, I don't know if I can get 20, but I'll be all right with 8.
Well, let's look at it like this, right? If you start your plant in March, we can have that thing at 18 inches by the third week in May.
Right.
Then that goes outdoors. So from the third week in May.
Well, now let me explain my outdoor situation, okay? So I had a tree that was in the center of this little area, all right? And then we removed the tree and we had the roots all taken out, and then we built a garden like around it with like 3 layers high of soil, like those paver bricks. We went 3 levels high.
Yep.
So they're nice and high, and then that's all fresh and like new. I mean, it's been there a while now. I'd have to rototill it, whatever, get it all ground up a little bit.
What you want to do, you want to prepare your base, right, for the plant. So there's no harm with that.
But it's been walked on and pounded down now, but it'll definitely, grind right back up and be ready for a beautiful garden. My wife used to plant garden stuff in there, but it got overtaken with some trash and stuff at one point. But we've gotten that area cleaned up again. I would love to be able to just grow 6 or 8. It's, probably 8 to 10 feet long by 5 feet wide. This section, all cement bricked in and ready to go.
Even if you want to do outdoor, but then have access to the ground, just go to your local dump and pick up some old tires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I don't have to. I got a couple in my yard already, but
that's it.
This is already
2 tires and fill the inside with dirt you control, and just leave the ground alone. You don't have to tiller. You don't have to do anything, because as a matter of fact, I've seen some.
I don't know. Like if I were to do tires in that little area, I would say I'd probably be able to get 6 sets of tire. Like you say, 2 high, right?
Yep.
2 high,
and they can be touching
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'd probably be able to get like 6 plants then, I guess, in one per tire, right?
You'd be pulling off, 4 to 6 pounds at the end of the summer.
Right. And then I need to get my press so I can get some rosin out of that shit.
Well, if you had that kind of volume, it would definitely be worth having the press.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what you're paying there for
just but myself,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For what you're paying there to buy an ounce at a dispensary, then you would be sick at your returns. You know what I mean? You'd spend $400 or $300 on an ounce, and then you'd squish it out, and you'd end up with, 6, 7, 8 grams of rosin, and you'd be like, "Oh man, I spent a lot of money on that." It's equivalent.
That's what I'm concerned about. If 6 plants going to be enough for me to have to smoke, and to have enough to crush and make into a rosin, and have enough rosin to last me until the next batch of plants are ready to go?
Well, not if it's a year. I mean, you got to think about what you consume in a year, and you're a fairly heavy consumer. I mean, if you were just buying flower, Hippie, how many ounces would you smoke a week? One ounce, 2 ounces?
I smoke an ounce a week, yeah, roughly. I mean, I could smoke more, but I try to control myself to an ounce a week.
So that's a quarter pound per month.
And that doesn't count, grams of dabs and carts that I get in between as well,
Right. So if you think about those 6 plants, if you follow the right regimen with them and do them proper, then they can produce you, like I said, 4 to 6 pounds. Now you're smoking a quarter pound a month, which means 1 pound lasts you 4 months. So if you can get 6 pounds, that's 2 years worth of smoke for you.
Yes. Okay. But I feel like I agree. I see what your math is saying, and it makes 100% sense. But, I feel like when you smoke more, so I feel like when I'm going to have 6 pounds of weed, I'm not going to be rolling pin joints. I'm going to be rolling
growers roll big joints. Yeah. That's for sure. Like guys who have access to cannabis roll bigger joints than people.
Right. If I'm gonna have, and hopefully the law passes this year and I'm able to grow, but if my goal is to grow and not have any issues, and then have 6 pounds would be great. I mean, that would be ideal for 2 years. But like I said, I want to be able to put some.
You should grow, Kelly.
Yeah, you're allowed, you dork. You're in
There's
New
no
York.
reason that you're not. You don't need seeds. If you want to seriously go into this,
I'll cut some clones off of this bitch when it's ready.
and I will hook you up with somebody who will send you clone stock of really high quality genetics. The guy who has ACGC fam, Jacob.
Oh yeah, you were. Those are the picture you sent me that day, right? Of the clones?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If from everybody I've encountered on Facebook at this point in time, that's in this industry or in the cannabis space, right. Jacob is the number one guy I would recommend to anybody for their genetic needs, whether it be seed or clone stock. But clones are guaranteed, seeds aren't. Not clones are guaranteed, but
yeah,
clones
you still fuck it up. But
yeah,
seeds you can't guarantee. He doesn't guarantee male or female, or he doesn't guarantee.
You can't.
You can't guarantee grow. You can't really tell, right?
No, and you can't guarantee male or female.
I've always heard that like the bigger, chubbier ones with the stripes on them were female.
Wives' tails.
It's all wives' tails, huh?
They're wives' tails, right? You don't know what that seed's produced until you force it to flower to see the sex. Right? You don't know.
Well, I'm looking at a plant
there
out there that could be a boy.
Seeds. Like there's feminized seeds and there's things like that, but you also have instances of hermaphroditism.
Yeah.
In the cannabis plants, right? Where they can actually switch. Or you can just get one section of the plant that goes male. You know what I mean? So you start from clone.
We don't judge. We don't
9
judge.
times out of 10. Yeah, well, when it comes to cannabis, you don't want males. Unless you're a breeder. You know what I mean? If you're a breeder or a geneticist, then it's interesting.
But if they want to be a male or a female, they can be. We don't gender specify here.
Well, when it comes to cannabis, we will though. Yeah,
Anyway,
the rest of it don't matter.
Go on.
There's no reason, like, if you set up back there, 6 plants will be really enough for you, because by the time you finish those in the end of September, early October, you'll have to use a step ladder to get to the top of the plants.
Well, that's my goal. I'm going to have the boy go up to the top and cut it all off down there and bring it down. That's my goal. I mean,
but you can really maximize it too by using some plant training and some topping. And
now, wait a second. Let me think for a second here. I got another area in my yard now. If I got it cleaned up right, okay, it is probably 40 by 40. All right. But now this is a big but. Once I got it cleaned up, at one point I had tiny little white rock that was in that area as filler, like as a patio kind of area, but it's been overgrown with some grass now, and it's got some garbage in that area. It needs to get cleaned up.
Plants won't care.
If I was going to say with the rock, now if I put 25 sets of tires into that area and then would they grow through the rock and down into the ground? Like, I mean, I don't have to road it to nothing.
Roots are strong, right? Think about the roots of a tree can penetrate the foundation of your home.
Oh, wait, whoa, Mr. Roots are strong. Yep. I was trying to crush my roots a little bit, and you gave me a hard time because
that's because they're delicate and young. Oh. But when you get a tree root, you see what they're like, right? And they can penetrate your foundation. They'll grow through anything.
Oh yeah.
And your cannabis is the same way. What it won't do is it won't grow through the rock. It'll go around it, because all those rocks together don't form a solid.
They didn't go through the cup. They wrapped around the cup a million times.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll find a path, right? They'll find their path. But I'll tell you what, if you did something like that, hippie, you'd be in business.
I am in business.
I mean,
I own a radio show.
If you do it right, there's absolutely no reason you can't get a pound of plant outdoors. No reason that you can't. And some people, if you do it right, like these plants you see in California, where people got 25 plants on the property and they're growing in those, 25-gallon bags. Yeah, they're probably harvesting 3-4 pounds of plant.
What about this, Dr. High? I have acres and acres of woods around me. Yep. What if I went into the woods after putting my 25 tires here, Then I go into the woods periodically into different areas and put sets of tires and just grow it into the woods as well.
Well, that's called guerrilla growing. And you can do that. There's the main criteria you want when you're considering where you're going to place your garden outside.
Swamp, is that good?
No, sandy is better than swampy because plants like oxygen. You like to get some oxygen.
Well, I mean, it's not all swamp. There's good area. There's a lot of rock. Dr. High.
But rock doesn't matter.
Wait a second. Big rock. I'm on a mountain.
Right.
So like that area that I was talking about where I could put those tires, it's not going to matter because it could be like a plateau of cement down there.
Then instead of being able to grow down, the roots they'll grow along. They'll grow between the rock and the top of the surface of the soil, right? They'll fill up that space.
All right.
They'll find their way. There's no problem with that. But the first
weed, like you find those cracks in the driveway where that son of a bitch comes out of them. You're like, get out of there. I just cut you out the other day.
Yeah. And if you cut it out, it comes back because the roots are still there. Right. So it regenerates. But the light is the most important thing when you're thinking about outdoors. You want the spot in your yard that's going to get the most sunlight throughout the day. That's going to get direct sunlight for as long as possible.
Commercial.
Hey, Dad, your prescription.
We'll be right back.
ready
You're
in
listening
just
to
a minute.
Hippie and Da.Highh.
Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute.
That's another one we almost missed.
Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AAR Care, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for a loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank
That's
you.
the Garrett's on somebody's payroll.
We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org.
Oh, that's cool.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
Yeah, we went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Discover the natural path to wellness at Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Herbs?
With a passion for holistic health, we are your trusted source for premium herbs and concentrates.
Wait a minute, do they have weed?
Our dedicated team is here to guide you on your wellness journey. Open 7 days a week, 10 to 10, ensuring you have access to what you need when you need it most. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Their pot.
2941. Highway 11, Burnt Church, New Brunswick.
That's my look,
If
those
you
are my
need
shit.
assistance anytime,
I need assistance. I need weed.
just call 506-871-4299. Tailored Herbs and Concentrates.
Where all the potheads go.
Yeah, this is
I'm a stoner, a roller, a real dope smoker, toker, a loner, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bone with trees, real smoker.
Absolutely, Garrett.
A real dope smoker, dope smoke choker, play poker with owners for pounds that they're growing, tobacco in the bone with trees, real moker. I'm a real 100 double O's at the end. I keep a real shit, I don't play pretend, don't beg, fuck hand outside.
Don't necessarily have to be as hard, but for the season, like where we're at, what time of the year it is, questions like that would be wonderful. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hit it twice, then we passing it. Gotta ash, then we tapping it.
Where the hell is that?
Ash, then we tapping it. Roll it, Jay, put the hat.
How are you, Ben? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a YouTube, please go over and check out our YouTube. It's WTHC Radio. Please subscribe. We're at 106 Da.High.
That's good. We're on the move.
Owners for pounds that they're growing. Tobacco in the bong with trees, real moker. I'm a stoner, real dope smoker.
Oh, we'll go back for it. I'm doing great, Ben. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We'll find it, Chris.
Practice, I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, it won't never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. Smoking the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, on me, who are you? Place from the hash in a row, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself, not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool. Practice, I'm up, y'all can never put me down. Smile on my face, it won't never be a frown. 10 toes on the floor, so I'm walking on the ground. In the air, equivalent to a pound. I'm happy, on me, who are you? Place from the hash in the road, keep me cool. Don't need nobody, myself, not a fool. My brothers around, they license the tool.
I'm going tomorrow morning. Yeah. Have breakfast with Al. No.
WTHC. Are you searching for the perfect home in the Twin Cities? Meet Mike Walgrove, your dedicated realtor in Minnesota. Let's make your dream home a reality. Hashtag Twin City Home Search. Hashtag Mike Walgrove Grave Realtor. Walgrave Realtor. There it is, Garrett. Tell Mike I said a shout out for him. Woo woo.
How are you, Ben? Thanks for joining us. What question was that, Chris? Was that the one about you're starting to see flowers already?
No. When it goes into something about a full dark mode.
Oh, I did see that. Hold on a sec. Let me try and get back to it.
Yeah, I saw it.
It was before the dog.
So does every grow go into a full dark cycle?
Yes. It's necessary.
Hi, Tasha.
Yeah,
How
there
are
it is.
you?
So does every grow go into a full dark cycle? Yeah, as a matter of fact, when you're first flipping from veg to flower, we would do a 36-hour solid dark cycle. No light at all for 36 hours, as dark as possible. We go in and check the garden, but we had to use green lights because green light bulbs don't, the plant doesn't pick up that spectrum for some reason, so it doesn't interfere with them, but we'd still go in and check. But yeah, we do a 36-hour full dark before we switch to 12 and 12. It's not necessary, but it just kind of gives the plants that real shock. It's like putting ice around the base of your plants in the last 2 weeks of flower, just to scare them into thinking it's really winter, So yeah, every plant does go into a full dark cycle. It's necessary. That's what triggers the flowering period, because the plant has to think that it's dying, right? If it doesn't think that it's dying, it's not going to work as hard to replicate itself. And that's really what it's trying to do. Plants really aren't much different than us. We have this need, number one, to survive first, and then secondly, to replicate. So
reproduce,
reproduce, yeah, replicate, reproduce, yeah.
I have no urge to reproduce any longer after reproducing twice. Thank you.
Yeah. No, because it's been complete.
No, because they drive you nuts.
Well, that afterwards, but How are you, Tasha? Thanks for dropping in.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Da.High.
Yeah.
So we were talking about my seed. I have those 3. Should I mean, 3 is too many. I should start with 1 more, or
you don't have room to grow 4, right?
No, I don't have room to grow one, but I'm gonna make
Yeah,
one.
so if you got room to grow one, then just sit tight on those seeds.
All right.
You know what
But
I mean?
what I need to do is I need to get autoflower, right? Because I'm gonna have to reach out to CGBVTV, whatever you call it.
Well, you don't need autoflower. Some people like autoflower. Some people don't like autoflower. It's really like it's a grower preference, right? Whether they like autos or they don't like autos. Not all growers like autos. A lot of them like the control.
Now I just transferred, right? So are we still too premature to tell whether it's a male or a female?
Yeah, you're not going to know until you go into your flowering cycle.
Oh, all right.
And if you're controlling the light, that's still going to be a little while, because if you want to try and get the most out of that plant you can, I would say not to flower it for at least 3 more weeks and then flip it over. But that gives you time to get the space set up too, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to come back from the vacation. I'm going to get this closet all set up, get a big cloth blanket that's going to hang over in front of it. I got a little warm heater for in there that I can to control the temperature.
Yeah.
I have
fan.
white walls. I have a fan. I have 2 sets of lights. So, but they're the ones that you do on your shelf. I might still buy a bigger one and a better one, but I don't know if I need to, because I'm only going to do this one grow, and then I'm going to be, doing 6 pounds next year.
Yeah.
Outdoors, So
I mean, it won't be as effective as the proper light, like a proper LED or a proper metal halide or high pressure sodium, the grow tubes, but they'll give it the light spectrum that it needs, just not the intensity. And you said something earlier, and I wanted to circle back to it. You talked about how open and airy, and
they weren't solid, they weren't dense, they were kind of leafy, but we trimmed them. We cut off all the the stuff that we thought needed to be trimmed. They kind of looked like buds, but they were loose. They weren't just
And a lot of naturally grown cannabis is that way.
Well, that's what I thought. Because we really didn't go above and beyond taking care of them. I mean, we got them to where they needed to be to get them to go outside.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just let Earth take care of it for themselves. And they grew, probably 3 or 4 feet tall, and through the season. And like I said, we had no clue. I mean, my wife has a green thumb and she can figure shit out.
Yeah.
But and she loves to learn and loves to figure that kind of stuff out, because
it's a beautiful plant, right? Regardless of whether you smoke it or not, it's a beautiful plant to look at.
But even that, I mean, she just loves to garden in general. So, I mean, she just loves to do that kind of stuff. Me, I'm not into it. I don't, like the other day I went out and I stuck my finger in the dirt and I was like, I gotta go wash my hand. And I'm like, all right, it's moist. I don't have to touch it again for another couple days.
Funny.
Now, Dr. High, I'm doing things a little differently because I'm crazy and I'm special. I haven't overwatered her yet. Or him. No. Right now, it's in a big pot. So Mrs. Hippie was like, "You got to saturate that," and I was like, "No. I'm gonna just pour a little around the stem root area here, and let it soak for a while, and then I'll check it in a day or so and see if it's still." And then as the days go on, I might get the circle might get a little bit bigger as we're going. Am I doing it right or no?
What I would do.
Because right now it's still sitting out on the kitchen counter in a big pot now,
right.
And last night was the first night we did the 18. So 18 on, 6 off.
Perfect. So this is what I would do to understand my plant now.
One more question before you go. Yep. I think that because I'm crazy, like I said, I'm going to water at night when it's off. And let it do the work that it needs to do, so that the plant, the lights don't dry out all that water. Don't you think that the lights dry out your pot?
That's when the plant will uptake the nutrients the best.
At night
is in the light cycle. So you don't want to feed in the dark because the plants are asleep. So what happens is you feed in the dark and all that water sits around the roots and stars it for oxygen because the plant's not actively uptaking in the dark cycle. So you don't want to feed in the dark. You want to feed right when the lights go on, right?
I was asking, yeah. Now go ahead. You were going to say, Tasha, you and Mrs. Hippie would get along great. I can't stand it. Oh my God. I lick my fingers as soon as I get dirt on them. I hate the feeling of dirt on my fingers. Oh my God, it's so gross.
You'd rather have it in your mouth, huh?
I would rather have it in my mouth than on the tips of my fingers. I don't know why. It skeeves me out. Oh, I think about the days that I used to have to cut open bags of cement and that cement powder. Oh my God. It would
the same thing.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, water in the daytime, Lori. Water first thing in the morning and allow the plant to absorb it throughout the day, so it doesn't sit at night. It could be part of the issue. It's hard to say, but I think there's some nutrient issue there too. But all right, so for you, Hippie,
yeah,
this is what I would do. I would take Mrs. Hippie's advice this time. I would feed that plant till you got runoff. And then once you got the runoff, each morning, and you won't have to feed that thing for probably 3, 4, 5 days. It'll take a few days with that plant that size and in the pot that it's in. And every day, just lift up the pot and feel the change in the weight.
Yeah.
And then there's the day you go to pick up that pot and you pick it up and you're like, oh my God, there's no weight to this at all. Water it again. Let it go through that whole cycle. Let it absorb not all the moisture, but 95% of the moisture in that dirt, and then feed it again. That way you really avoid overwatering your plant.
Right. I don't want to overwater it.
No.
Because that'll make your plant look shaggy and yellowish and
it slows it down because that's a sign that the plant's under stress, right? So
that's why I haven't really gone above and beyond. I mean, it's only been in there 4 days or 5 days now. I've watered it twice in those 5 days. And I go out and I stick my finger in and I feel and I say, all right, you're still pretty moist. I pick it up, but I got some rocks in the bottom and some. So I got to get
okay, though. You're going to feel the difference. You're going to feel the difference as the water goes out.
No, I feel the difference. And Mrs. Hippie beats me every time the water goes out onto the floor.
It's really, when you're hand watering cannabis, it's really the way you have to do it. You have to do it by weight. You can't stick your finger in the dirt and say that's okay, because the dirt's going to dry out on the top a lot sooner than it's going to dry out at the bottom, right?
Absolutely. That's why I said with the lights. That's why I feel like the lights would dry out the dirt. But I'm not going to argue with you. I agree. But I do pick it up. I pick it up and I make sure that she feels, the right weight. And I want her to dry out. I know I've been listening to you. I want her to not, I want her to absorb everything. But at the same time, I don't got the best water, bro.
That's not all that important. Really, what you want to do is create positive stresses on the plant.
Oh, I beat the fuck out of her. I
But
give her stress. I'm like,
positive stress is good. There's negative stress.
driving me nuts, just like Mrs. Hippie.
Yeah, there's negative stress like overwatering and allowing your plant to become root bound, or using too much nutrient, or not enough nutrient. Those are negative stresses. But allowing the plant to go through and absorb all the nutrient and water that's in your grow medium, before you resaturate again, that's positive stress. Applying a fan in your indoor grow environment to move the plant with the wind, that's a positive stress, right? So we want to just eliminate negative stresses and work with positive stress on the plant.
Probably keep it away from Mrs. Hippie then, right? Don't let Mrs. Hippie near with all her negative stress. Oh, she drives me nuts.
Back to the bud structure that we were talking about.
Blood stretching?
Bud structure, because you were talking about loose and airy buds.
Oh, right.
Now, when you buy buds from the dispensary and they're hard like little pebbles, like little golf balls?
I hate them.
Unnatural.
I hate them.
That's a result of using what they call PGRs, or plant growth regulators. And a lot of places do that because it adds weight to their plants, but it creates those super tight, dense buds that aren't fully natural, right? They're a result of chemical manipulation. So I would prefer a natural bud over that any day. Not that it's not safe to smoke. It's just not the same.
I agree. And I'm interrupting as always. The girl that I deal with at my dispensary, my new favorite girlfriend, I'm going to tell you, she did a great job. I mean, besides a couple of the dates being a little further back, but the quality of the bud was fantastic. And every one of them wasn't one of them hard ass crunchy buds that you can't. Every one of them, I could take my fingernail and break the bud up and it would come apart nicely. It was a beautiful, nice little pretty bud. Even the ones that were 4 months old or 3 months old, packaged 3 months ago, they were still in a good container, well taken care of, and quality. I didn't get anything 25% or less. 25% or less. Everything was 25 or above in the flour.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not necessary because, like I always say, there's too much focus on the high THC. Like, if you get something 16, 17, 18%, it's going to get you high too. But, good numbers are good numbers. So, but you pay more for those. Like here in Canada, if you pick up something that's like 16%, that ounce might cost you $80. If you pick up something that's 25%, that ounce might cost you $140.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Because we don't have them here in my dispensaries anyway. Maybe in other dispensaries, I'm sure they do in America, but I know you do in Canada. Pre-rolls, how do you feel about them overall? Like, do you feel as though you get, I mean, I know you get them for free a lot and they just give them to you because you buy so much or whatever. Yeah. So as a free quality product, I'm sure it's fine, but if you were paying $5 or $8 or $10 for a pre-roll, do you like the quality of the pre-rolls there? And I'm only asking because we don't have them here. So I don't I'm afraid that that's the shit they're getting off the floor.
No. When I was doing pre-rolls for the licensed producer I worked at, because that was part of my job, part of my position was to produce the pre-rolls there.
Right.
We were working from top quality bud.
Yeah, I'm not saying in any way that nobody's doing.
No,
I'm asking my own general knowledge.
It's going to be dependent on who's producing them, because a lot of people will use those pre-rolls to use all that pre-grill ground product, right? The bottom of the bags where all the leaf breaks off and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Why wouldn't the pre-rolls be the smaller buds? Stop selling me these.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
and grind up the small bud and make them into pre-rolls and sell them.
We actually had a bud sorting machine. So we had a machine. It was made by Green Bros in New Jersey. And basically, it had a tray and then it had a series of bands that ran down. So the bands started narrow at the load end and got wider towards the end. So as the bands continued to get wider, the different size buds would drop through at different points. And then there was a collection chute at each side of it, right? So we'd set bins up. So I was able to separate the product by the large buds, the medium buds, the small buds, and the fluff. So it would stand to reason that a lot of companies will use the stuff that's not visually appealing to do their pre-rolls. But the problem is, if it's not visually appealing, then a lot of chances are that it's from the lower part of the plant that didn't get as much light. And through testing, we know that those popcorn buds and that looser stuff at the bottom, if your top colas have 25% THC, then maybe in that loose, fluffy stuff, you're only getting 15, 16, 17%. So the quality of the cannabis decreases when you use that product. So it depends. You'll see some companies that'll market premium pre-rolls, which will be made from bud. There's also premium concentrate.
I want to go and I want to buy a pre-roll. I want to buy a pre-roll of kosher Tangy or GG4. I don't want a pre-roll of something that they just hand me and they're like, here, this is dirt stuff off the floor.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right?
I feel like, and no offense to anybody out there, of course, but I feel like when I went to that festival, people were like selling pre-rolls.
But you weren't at a real festival. Like, you were at a real festival, but you weren't at a real legal space where the product that you could buy could be full-blown THC products. So you can't really use that as a way to judge the industry, right?
Right. Well, I don't ever judge the industry. I don't know anything about it.
You have to judge it, though.
Well, for me to judge it, I mean, I'm learning, so I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
at the same time, as I learn, then I'm gonna judge more. But people
Yeah.
that don't know, listen to us because there's so much shit that I didn't know before I met this fella that I'm learning every day. That's the part right
And
there.
really, for me, I want to make sure that anybody that hears what we do, anybody who comes into this program and listens to anything we talk about here, to understand that I only advise the best practice, the best way for you out there to get the highest quality product at the best price, whether it's make it yourself. And you have to be skeptical when you're buying from a source when it comes to pre-rolls, because the logic is that let's use the product that people aren't going to see in the pre-rolls, because if we're trying to sell nice buds, nobody wants to buy a tin full of shake. They want to see one nice eighth, a bud that weighs an eighth or something like that. But just remember, big buds aren't good either, because big buds come with big stems and stems have weight.
Right.
And you can't go back and complain at the dispensary because you got a
We were talking to our friend Sam the other day, and she had a 6 gram, I think it was, or 7 gram bud.
Yeah, and probably the stem itself is 1
was
gram.
like, the stem itself was just over a gram. Yeah,
Yep.
just over a gram or something like that, or just under a gram. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of stem. That you just paid for a whole gram of fucking nothing but stem.
Yeah, and in the States where you're paying $10, $12 a gram, $15 a gram, that's real money that you just spent on nothing. But you can't go back and complain and say, hey, there was a stem in there that weighed a gram, because weed comes with stems. It's part of the plant, right? So you can't really make a logical argument with the supplier over a part of the plant that's there naturally. Yeah. You don't have a lot of stem weight there, but you will in the end. And I can tell you, when we used to
that was a 1/4 ounce of small bud. And like I said, it seems like it's going very quick, but it comes apart very nicely. It's not too tight, and that's where we were heading. You were talking about the airy buds. Did you finish that, or?
Well, I was just talking about when you get buds that are super tight, most of the time it's because they're using plant growth regulators in their nutrition cycle, which is artificially making the buds that way. It's good for the producer because they're heavier, but it's not necessarily better for the consumer because it's one more additive that doesn't need to be there.
What kind of additive is it?
Well, they're plant growth regulators. There are many different kinds, so I can't be specific about that. They're just called PGRs. So, if you see the letters PGR and you're talking about cannabis, you know that they're using something to artificially create those really tight, hard golf ball like nugs.
So when I go there, can I go to my dispensary and say no PGR?
You can, but your dispensary may not know.
They'll laugh at me.
What producer? Yeah, they may not know what producer's using them and not using them, because no producer really advertises that they do that. Right? They only worry about what their final test is and that there's nothing that causes them to flag.
Is PGR something that should be on the label?
I mean,
Or
I think
regulations. I mean, we don't really have any regulations here.
It would be my preference that everything that a producer does to produce that harvest, because it is a consumable product, it would be my preference to see fully transparent labeling.
Right.
But I think they should come with a COA also. I think you should get a certificate of analysis with that. But I don't think even the dispensaries get those. They have access to them if they ask for it. And maybe if you buy a product online, or you buy a product like you have there, that weed, you might be able to go back to the producer of that weed on their website and look at that batch number and the certificate of analysis, which breaks down some of the stuff that's on the label, like terpenes, THC, CBD, CBG, CBA, CBC,
right,
and all those kind of things. But you also want to look at, microbials, heavy metal contamination. Most likely it's not in the marketplace if any of those are out of whack. But, like it should be fully transparent for sure.
All right. We got to do a commercial.
Yep.
WTHC, you guys out there on Live 365 and tune in. We love and appreciate you guys. You guys here on Facebook and YouTube, you're awesome. Thank you so much for chilling out with us. We'll be right back after these commercials.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I got to tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so
interesting.
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s.
Oh, yeah,
Why
I
should
saw
saving
that.
for
I'm sorry.
retirement be any different?
I'm not really very close to it. I'm glad he was caught. My son was actually going to go to that school where the Arboretum is, where he was hiding, but he didn't end up going, thank God. But it's a couple hours for me. He's caught, so everything's
Just have a
safe.
3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital
I
retirement
guess.
coach from AARP. You'll get personalized
That
recommendations.
was creative, though.
They're easy to understand and work with
What?
your lifestyle.
He was creative how he got out of there.
Plus,
He
it's sponsored by
climbed up a
AARP,
wall,
so you
but
can
the
go
thing is he's the second one in 6 months to get out of there.
Yeah, then that's when you got to look at the institution, because I can tell you, the places I was in, nobody ever escaped.
Start chatting with Avo today.
So-
That's acretirement.org. A
Now,
message from
Eric
AARP
Freen.
and the Ad
Remember when
Council.
Eric Freen was loose?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he was the one that was loose here in Pennsylvania a couple years
medical
back.
grade water ionizers.
That mother
7
trucker
types
was
of
right
water,
here in my hood.
healthy alkaline.
He can't. He was a Boy Scout where my son is a Boy Scout. And he had all that boys, and he went towards that campground, and that's where he was trying to hide out. And then he got up into the mountain further. Crazy.
Water.org to get a free ebook. Plus,
Eric
pay for
Freen,
any
look him
machine
up.
in full and
Crazy
get an extra
fuck.
filter free.
Danger, danger, stealing highs green.
Water.org.
Are you in Allensville or Middletown?
That's the biggest thing you got to worry about when you have an outdoor grow is thievery.
Ugly walls like Collins.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like where I live. The only one that's going to notice is my mailman or my UPS guy.
Yeah.
Whatever your heart desires.
Well, if you're in the back, there's got to be a place you can grow in the backyard where nobody can see it from the driveway or from the
Absolutely.
back.
I got a whole backyard I could do behind the house. Grow 100 plants back there.
That's what you should be
Nobody
doing.
would ever,
I'll
nobody
tell
would
you
ever
what,
see him.
if I was in a situation like that, last summer I was growing my plants right outside my mom's window. So every time she looked outside, all she could see was plants.
Dauphin, PA today.
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's badass crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays.
That Eric Freen
Sundays.
guy was
Today
on
I
the
wanna
run
go
for
there and
like
pick up
90
all my
days or
great
something like
finds.
that in the
That sounds like a
mountains,
great
chasing
road
them
trip.
through
That's Bella's
broken down
Facebook.
resorts
You can
and
also
shit,
find them at the top
looking
of the
for his
mountain in
ass.
Dauphin, PA. They are badass.
I remember when I was talking with one of the corrections officers in the place where I was in.
WTHC. All right, go ahead.
Oh, and he was saying that he had to go for qualifying. We're like, qualifying? What's it? He said, I have to go to the range and I got to qualify with a gun. And I'm like, what are you going to do with a gun? He was a big, heavy guy, right? Fat dude, long hair. He was one of the kitchen cops. I said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your gun, Hersey? He said, listen, they pay me that if I see somebody trying to climb that fence, my job's to shoot them. That's why I'm here. Other than that, I'm just a babysitter, but I'm paid to make sure you don't escape. You know what I mean? And we kind of laughed about that, but the truth was, for me, that fence could have blown down, and I wasn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to be on the run like that. What a horrible
Hell no.
experience that would be.
Hell no.
You
Yeah.
know, hunted
Be
and
like, they went that way. I'll be in my bunk.
yeah. Like I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm already here. Let's just get it over with. And,
Get it over with. I ain't going for another
get back to the
15
real
years
world.
because I decided to try to walk away. Nope.
Yeah, it's got to be a miserable life. Now, let's say this guy was from Mexico and he was able to get his ass back to Mexico, then that's maybe a different story, right? But for me, there is no safety for me in Canada. Canada gave me to America. America asked, and Canada,
They were like, yep, here he is. We found him.
Here you go. You can have him.
Take him away. We don't want him.
That's it.
He's trouble.
So.
Not everybody's heard of it, but Mount Pocono, the beautiful Pocono Mountains of Mount Pocono. I live in that general area. It's a city, I would assume. I mean, there's town. It's getting more and more populated. It's a very big tourist area. So we have a lot of water parks. We have a lot of ski mountains. We have a lot of factories.
That's what a combination. We got a lot of mountains, we got a lot of parks, we got a lot of water parks, and we got a lot of factories.
Yeah, well, they just recently started building these factories everywhere. It's pissing me off because they're cutting down the woods and taking away the homes for the bears and the deers and all the other animals.
And driving them into your backyard.
Right. And then I got to deal with bears eating my garbage every day, damn it.
Yeah.
But.
And they're smart, eh?
They might be growing. They might be cannabis factories. That's my hope.
Oh, maybe.
Cresco is putting a big factory right down the block from me. That's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
Whew, that would be amazing. Then you'd be watching me trying to break into that place every day.
Hey, listen, I had a buddy who had a legal grow here in Canada, a medical grow, and he went into his garden one morning and he heard somebody whimpering and crying for help. And he's like, what the hell's going on in here? So he goes in and he looks, and there's a guy laying in the middle of his plants who tried to break in to rob him and didn't realize it was like a 15-foot drop. The guy came in through the roof.
Broke his leg?
Yep, broke his leg and was laying on the ground crying for help. Buddy says, yeah, we'll help you. He called the police, not the ambulance. Police came and they arrested him.
He'll get his medical care after he goes to prison.
Yeah, like Buddy called the cops before he called the ambulance for this guy. He's like, fuck you, suffer. You come here to try and rob me.
Right.
I don't care.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I would have gone and stepped on that broken leg before I called anybody for him.
Not you, Dr. High. We don't recommend that kind of stuff over here.
If somebody's trying to steal from you, they need to learn, because that thievery is not a good thing.
He learned when he landed and broke his leg. I'm never doing this again.
No, but he ended up in court. It was kind of funny. It was one of the very first instances that I knew of where somebody that I knew that was growing weed was going to court openly to go through the prosecution of somebody who actually tried to steal their weed. So,
I mean,
yeah, pretty bizarre.
Man, if he would have got away with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish they would have had weed places when I was a kid that I could rob.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, no. We don't support that either over here.
No, I've never done that, and I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't either. I'm just kidding. But what else, dude? We got like 6 minutes or so, unless you got time. I mean, what do we want to talk about? I have a story. You want to talk about a story?
Let's have a story.
All right, here we go. Natural cannabinoids in the brain relieve stress.
Yep.
In recent years, cannabis has taken a center stage in the discussion about mental health. The psychoactive cannabinoid, I can't say that word, THC, has been shown to relieve stress and anxiety. But what if our brains have their own natural version of this compound that plays a role mitigating stress? New research from the Northwestern University suggests that this might be the case. According to the study, our brains do not sit idle when we are exposed to stress. The experts found that the cannabinoids molecules released by our own cerebral network seem to affect the brain similarly to THC.
Yeah.
The specific pathway to neural circuits influenced by natural cannabinoids have been poorly understood. Don't you laugh at me, you son of a bitch. The study reveals that during stressful situations, oh my God, amygdala, what the hell?
Yeah, the amygdala or something.
It says AMYG DALA.
Amygdala.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Part of the brain.
And all right, I'm done reading this shit. Words are getting bigger and harder. Integral emotional center in the brain releases cannabinoid molecules. These molecules subsequently act to temper the stress alarm sent from the hippocampus, whatever the hell that is.
Another part of the brain.
A critical memory and emotional center in, I could have answered it, but I just finished reading. Center in the brain. The findings support that the existing theory that these self-produced cannabinoid molecules serve as the body's initiate response to stress. Good Lord. Me and my big idea. Oh, this fucking goes on forever.
Yeah, you don't need to, though.
Thank God. We're out of time.
I find it really interesting because there are so many studies and papers coming out that talk about the benefits of cannabis. Like so many, they're coming on a daily basis almost. I was reading stuff today from research that's being done in the United Kingdom, very positive about saying how that cannabis is fast acting and highly effective against neuropathic pain, and just every day I'm seeing something new. I'm seeing something new. I'm seeing something new. But you know what I'm not seeing something new about every day? How cannabis is harmful for us. How cannabis is bad for us.
Right.
None of these studies are showing negative consequence from the use of cannabis. It's all.
I think we should be able to sue. I think we should be able to sue the government or whoever's in charge, whoever's idea it was to take this shit away from us. I mean, there are people who have suffered in pain most of their life. People have died. People have suffered for years and years and years. And this shit has been medicine that could have been helping people. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have helped anybody live, but it certainly would have helped the quality of life they had while they were living. You know what I mean? And it may have had, as some of the stories people have with cannabis and cancer, had they not resorted to that RSO regimen, would the cancer have killed them?
Yeah.
We don't know. So it perhaps has done some sort of curative stuff for people. That's unproven, but there is some anecdotal evidence out there that says it's possible. So we're seeing good, and we're not seeing a lot of bad results from these studies. But yet there are those people in power who are blinded by their pharmaceutical contributors who don't want to face the truth.
I have a question. Well, actually, I have a statement. Yeah. It's actually a sad statement. I'd like to take a moment of silence. Our friend, and I think we spoke to you about her. She was the one we told you she was on dialysis for 25 years.
Okay.
Do you remember us talking about her?
Not particularly, but.
Oh, well, anyway, she passed away yesterday or the day before.
After
that's 25 years of being on dialysis. Pocket Dragon, we love you, sweetie. Rest in peace. You were a great friend, and I'm sad. I'm very sad I've lost her. We love you. Anyway, yeah, it sucks, but 25 years has got to be like a record on dialysis, and she was a party animal. She hung with us. She was great. Love her to death. Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
This is what I don't like about social media. I'll tell you honestly, what I don't like about social media is I'm making way too many friends, and now I have to care about people and shit, and it's pissing me off.
Well, caring about people.
I hear about hurricanes coming to North Carolina. I ain't never had to worry about hurricanes in North Carolina, because I didn't have no friends or family there. Now I got friends and family there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, now I got to worry about them and the people in the South and the winters and the storms everywhere. I have too much stress.
We're coming into that season. The winter season is upon us very soon. So Garrett says, I'm curious to see the long-term effects of smoking on the lungs. Talked about that a little last Thursday. I have read stuff. Now, I don't know how real that the information is, but I have read that cannabis can almost act like a scrubber for the lungs, can actually help your lungs. Even if you're a cigarette smoker, can help undo a little bit of that damage that you get from smoking. But I wouldn't continue smoking cigarettes based upon the fact that cannabis might be helpful to a smoker. And I know what it's like, bud, because I smoked a pack of cigarettes a day for, I don't know, 40 years,
30,
something like that. A really long time. So I'm glad that I've kind of put those behind, but I still got this crap in my life. The nicotine is still there, but at least the cigarettes aren't.
Me too.
So, it's a little tough. And that's what the cannabis community is all about. Look at Tom right there. He says he was out mowing the yard. His neighbor has cancer and isn't able to do anything, so I've been mowing for him. I mean, that's the kind of community that we're lucky enough to be a part of. Ones that care for their neighbors and help out where they can. I'm curious, is your neighbor trying any sort of cannabis preparation to alleviate some of his issues with the cancer, whether it's through the chemo treatment or the lack of appetite or the inability of sleeping? And if he's not, Tom, maybe you should have a chat with him or bring him here so he can have a chat with us and maybe we can help him find
turn him on to the show. Yeah, we can help him.
So
very
that's
good.
Kel. 5 months is excellent. Yeah, very good. Yeah, cigarettes are they're such a hook, right?
They're just a waste of fucking time. They don't do nothing for you. You don't get high. You don't do nothing. I mean, I'm just like,
you know what they need to do? They need to do like they've done in Australia. You know how much a pack of cigarettes costs in Australia?
$45.
$50.
I guessed.
Wow. Yep, $50
for 20 Class A cigarettes.
20 or 25, I guess. Yeah. Well, I mean, here it's kind of crazy. In Canada, it's about $20 a pack. So, you can,
Garrett, they're bad for you, buddy. They're not doing nothing for you.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like my wife still smokes, and she'll light up a cigarette upstairs, and I'll smell it, and I'm like, ooh, that smells good, and I really gotta fight. I gotta fight myself, because the temptation is to grab one and just smoke it. But it's going to be, it's a sad part about cigarettes is I think they kind of pull on you for life. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to get away from. I don't know. She's just not ready to give up, Kel. I don't know why.
No smoking.
I don't know why.
Smoking's bad.
10 years younger than me. So, hopefully she'll figure it out before she reaches my age. And it took me to 56 to figure it out. So, hopefully. But I'll tell you what, when you give up smoking stinks.
Oh my God, it's so gross.
People that smoke, you know what I mean? But sometimes I get that waft of that cigarette coming down the stairs and I'm like, oh, that smells good.
I used to smell good like in your first 2 or 3 years of not smoking, and you're like, oh, I could use a cigarette right now. But now that it's been like 10 or 11 years or 12 years of just vaping, the smell of cigarette smoke is absolutely appalling. It's gross.
That's when I really noticed it when I was locked up, right? Because for the first, I'm going to say 6 or 7 months, I was locked up in the States. You could still smoke, but they took the smoking out. So I really kind of quit for all the way for about, I'm going to say about 6 years. I didn't smoke not a single cigarette. but yet the corrections officers would come in from their breaks, or they'd come into work, and a lot of them smoked. And it was like, wow, I had no idea that I smelled like that when I went around people who were non-smokers.
It's the worst. You get into an elevator and somebody comes in and they just got done smoking from their break or something, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, I had no realization of what it was like until then. And I was like, whoa.
Yes, Garrett, I do vape nicotine. I do not get all the other carcinogens that come in a cigarette, like
I vape nicotine too, Garrett. That's what this is.
Beeswax. Yeah, but that's poison because you don't know what's in there. And it's 5% nicotine, so that's like it's like a 12-pack of it's like 12 cartons of cigarettes every drag.
But then I have this beauty too, which is the finest of distillate pens.
Jealous.
Which I also enjoy.
All right. What are we doing, dude? Do I need to set up more commercials? Are we chilling, or are you getting out of here?
No, I'm going to call it a day. I got a little more work I want to do, and I'm kind of getting hungry.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm rushing you. I'm like, I'm hungry. I got to pee.
Oh, and my puppy is right here wanting some
It's
love.
all right, DJ nephew Nick.
Come on up. Come see the people. They want to see your beautiful face. Oh, the hippie's calling. The hippie's calling. Come on. Come on. You're camera shy. He's a camera shy boy.
We will see you guys tomorrow. Is Thursday. Yes, we will be here Thursday. Yeah. Friday, we'll probably do the show, and then I will not be on after, and then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Are you going up Friday night, or are you leaving Saturday morning?
Yeah, she's picking us up. She's picking myself and my daughter up at like 10 o'clock, I think, Friday night. And then we're heading to West Virginia all night, and we'll be to her by like 4 in the morning, I think. And then we're up to whatever.
Kelly says 8.
Ohio. She
wants to be home by 2.
She's leaving her house at 8, but then it's an hour and so to me. So 9:30, 10-ish, somewhere around there. And then we're on our way to West Virginia to get Lori. And then we're on our way up to Ohio to go hang out with Muck Sticky and everybody. It's going to be fucking great.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have a blast. I got to admit, I don't get jealous very often, but I'm kind of jealous.
We'll be going. I'm going to try to stream live from there on Facebook and YouTube a couple times. So hopefully that'll work. But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you use your phone.
They said that internet is spotty there, really bad. So, you might not even be able to make phone calls. They said, at points.
Oh, now you're setting it up for Mississippi.
Yes, I probably won't be able to call you at all this weekend, Mississippi.
Service is spotty.
Spotty. I wasn't able to call at all. Meanwhile, my daughter will be on the phone with her every day, 24 hours a day.
Speak. He's just sitting over here crying.
All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to pee myself.
Peace, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for spending some time with us, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. Everybody, always
smash that like button and subscribe.
Right. I'm
gonna hit that like button so the YouTube algorithm knows that we're doing the right things out there, and everybody can come and find out about us. At least that's what the people I listen to say.
Right. That's what I say. That's what they say. Get the algorithm going. Yeah. Type over there in the algorithm. All right. I'm going to pee. I got to go.
All right.
Love you guys. Peace.
Take care.